Hey YouTube, this is Random Videos, and today we'll be learning how to take a skateboard's trucks off and the wheels. And for this little adventure, you will need a ratchet. I think, the one that I have is a 1/4 inch drive. But it doesn't matter what kind of, ratchet you have. Just as long as it works. And the sockets that you'll need, the ones that I use anyway, I use a 14 for the kingpin, which is located right here. It's the one I use for the nut that holds the kingpin and everything down, which holds your hanger, which is this, holds the hanger to the plate, the kingpin, and that nut right there. And that's what you use to tighten and loosen your trucks, so you can turn better, or you need it tight, because it turns too much and it gets wheel bite. That's what you're gonna need. 14. Well, that's what I use anyway. Okay, then the next socket you're gonna need is a 1/2 inch socket. That's what I use. That's what you're gonna be using for the nut on the wheel that holds the wheels. All the wheels have the same size nut. Okay, let's get started. Oh yeah, and you're also gonna need a screwdriver with just any old screwdriver that will fit, your hardware on your board. And this fits mine. So let's get started. First, we're going to take the actual truck off of the board. We'll start by putting the screwdriver into the screw head. Next, we'll take our channel locks, because I don't have the right fitting tool or socket to go on the nut, so I have to use channel locks. Alright, we'll hold that there while I loosen the screw, and it'll just come off like that. And you'll just do that to all the other sides, 3 sides or whatever. Oh yeah, and guys, whenever you're doing this, make sure you keep all your little nuts and screws and hardware, all that stuff. Make sure you keep the ones for that truck in a specific location spot that you will not forget. Because if you do lose them because you forgot where you put your hardware, it's going to be a pain. Unless you have a skate shop close by and you have money to spend. But if you don't have money to spend and there's not a skate shop, or you can't shop online, it's going to be a pain to get some more hardware for your board, because you lost the hardware that you had with it. So make sure you have a little spot to put your stuff whenever you're taking stuff apart. Oh yeah, and be careful when you're using tools, because you can hurt yourself. Remember, kids, safety first. Yeah. And you just pop these little screws out, like so. Put it in a little pile with the truck corresponding to that hardware. And then you just do the same thing on the other side. And that's how you take your trucks off your board. Now, taking the wheels off, which is actually really, really simple. First, you start by taking your truck with your wheels on it. You grab your ratchet, take the quarter-inch drive, or not quarter-inch drive, quarter-inch. Actually, you know what? Forget that part that I just said. Half-inch socket. Take that, put it on your ratchet. Make sure it's on the loose setting, which on a ratchet you turn to the right to go loose, and then to the left to go tighten. So we're going to be going loose. Put it on there and ratchet it off. Just like that. See? Simple. Oh yeah. If your skateboard is new or you have replaced, parts in it or whatever, you're gonna have little tiny pieces like this, like little washers and other little stuff that you could lose. So make sure you don't lose these little washers that go between your nut and your wheel and your trucks. Then you just do the same thing with the other one. You know what? This is actually kind of fun. Like, if you like taking things apart, then this is for you. And if you don't, well, you're going to have to, because that's how you maintain your board. It's not just going to get done by itself. Unless you're like a freaking genie or something. But, nah. Alright. I had a lot of people ask me, like, people who don't know a lot about skateboards and stuff, and like they just want to learn more about it. They ask, how do you take the bearings out of your wheels? Well, it's simple. Take your truck, take your wheel, put it about, try to find this, like the center. Try to get that rod or that axis, whatever it's called, I don't know, axle or rod, axle rod or whatever. Try to get it about halfway in the wheel. After you've done that, you take your hand like this and go out with it and like kind of like pry that bearing right out, just like that. There you go. That's how you get your bearings out. Now, some people are gonna have a little bit more trouble getting the bearings out because sometimes it's just hard to get out because it's stuck in there. So you might want to take a rag, put the rag over the wheel, get some channel locks, grab the wheel, and do the same thing. Go outward with it. And that's how you take your bearings out. Okay. Alright, now to loosen or tighten your trucks, you take the 14, put that on the ratchet, put it on the loose setting, put it on the nut, and you just loosen that sucker up, just like that. Now, you got a loose truck, so it can turn really easily now. But you're probably gonna get a ton of wheel bite. A ton of wheel bite. And for those of you who don't know what wheel bite is, it's whenever your wheels on whenever you turn on your trucks touches the board and grinds on the board. As you can see, my board has very little wheel bite right there. It's from the wheel grinding the board. But to avoid that, don't over loosen that nut on your trucks. So if you do, you'll get a ton of wheel bite. And if you want to keep your board in like semi-decent condition, you don't want to do that. Alright, guys, I'm sorry if I couldn't show you how to put everything back together. I have a limited time for this video, so I guess this is just a video on how to take apart basically everything on a skateboard. Well, make sure, if you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. This is Random Videos, signing off.